buckwheat, a dish with buckwheat. I haven't given it a name. So, but I wanted to try a new vessel which my mom has sent me. This is supposed to be a helix vessel made of stainless steel. Oh yeah, it's got a temperature here. It checks the temperature here. And once I know that the food has reached at a certain temperature, I can switch it off. But in this case, I'm not steaming food, but I'm cooking oil free. And last time you saw me cooking it in my pan, but this I'm using the vessel. I put in some onions and garlic inside. It's completely something like a tomato rice because my palate wants something very Indian today. I'm not willing to explore and be adventurous. So I'm just making something with that. What I am going to do is, yeah, it's reached about 80 degrees. No, it's not yet cooked. This vessel is supposed to be for oil free, and yes, it is cooked, but it's a little burned. I still haven't I'm using it for the first time. So what I am going to do is, ideally you're supposed to fill the vessel with whatever you want to cook. At least 3/4, but I don't have so much. This is just for me I'm making. So, you know, going by, I put in some yellow and red capsicum inside. And I've cooked some buckwheat and kept it ready. Actually, I soaked this for about a couple of hours and then cooked. And the amount of water that I added was 3 times the quantity of whatever buckwheat I put. And this buckwheat, if you see, is it's not a grain, though it says the name has wheat in it. It is a pseudo cereal like your quinoa or couscous or amaranth. It's one of those pseudo cereals, and you know, it has no gluten in it, so it has no relationship to wheat whatsoever. And if you see, this buckwheat, it cooked very easily. You know, it took me just 5 minutes to cook the buckwheat. I cooked and kept it separately because I'm going to add it to my main dish a little later. So yeah, it cooks very fast. I can see that the vegetables are already cooked. I like to add colors to my food, so I've added that. And if you look at buckwheat, very surprisingly, it was a very common, popular crop. One of the first domesticated crops until the agricultural revolution happened, when people started using fertilizers. Then it became an obsolete crop. It started off in Southeast Asia and then moved to Middle Central Asia and then North and moved to Middle East. That's how this crop grows. I love the taste of buckwheat, not the Indian ones though. My brother used to live in Turkmenistan and he used to buy us buckwheat from there. And now it's a very popular food in Russia. The taste of buckwheat used to be brilliant actually. The groats were so healthy, and the dark brown groats are roasted ones. The lighter brown that you get in India are the raw ones. So what happened is, I'm not greatly happy with the vessel. I don't know if I'll use it again. And then I'm using it for steaming purposes. Now I added some tomatoes to it. I think I'm going to make it, and I think I'm going to add, though the vessel says waterless vessel, I don't think this is true. I'm going to add a little bit of water because it is burning my food and I'm not very happy with it. So I've added a little bit of that, and I'm going to add some spices to it. And so what I will do is, I said I'm going to make it very Indian, so I'm adding some haldi, manja podi, some amount of chili powder, and salt, Himalayan pink salt. Mix that, add all that. Now what do I do? I'm just going to mix and let me see if this gets mushy. I can't even call the guys for demo. This is a high quality vessel made of stainless steel. It's supposed to be good for health. The handles don't get hot. That's what I read on the. There's no instruction booklet with this. So the temperature is still at 80. Let me wait for it to go up a bit. So that's how the buckwheat is now very popular in Russia and the Middle East. And now he lives in Dubai and gets me buckwheat from Dubai. It's not as good as the ones that we got in Turkmenistan. But anyway, it's better, far better than the quality that you get in India. It doesn't grow in India. It needs a likely cooler climate. But once in a way, it's okay to add different grains to your food. So now when you're making this recipe, you don't need buckwheats. You could add regular, raw rice. You could add, I don't use white rice. You could add millets. You could add quinoa. You could add rajgira. Anything that you want as the grain, as a non-grain, a pseudo cereal. You could add, because I avoid having grain-free. I always have grain-free meal. Try and have grain-free meal in the night. It doesn't cause spikes in your blood sugar. And coming to the health benefits of buckwheat are very many. As I said, it's a pseudo cereal. It's rich in carbs. This is a carb-rich food, complex carb. So it doesn't have a very high glycemic index. It doesn't raise your blood sugars that much. In fact, it is very good to control your blood sugar. It's got some amount of proteins, but what is more important is it's got a lot of minerals. It's got magnesium, it's got manganese, it's got copper, iron, and magnesium and copper have heart healthy minerals. So it's good for the heart, and it does help control your blood sugar because of, as I said, it's a complex carb. It's got antioxidants as well in it. So on the whole, it's a good grain to consume. So if you're sick of having rice all the time, like I have the heritage rice right now, because the store from where I buy rice is closed. She was kind enough to send me 5 kgs of Ilupet Puchamba. I don't know how many months it's going to last because my rice consumption is so low. Just a kilo of rice can last me anywhere up to 2.5 months. So I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I would try and make different kinds of recipe with the raw rice that she sent me. Now the temperature has touched 100, which means it has cooked. Yes. A little more brushiness to it I need, because I don't want the tomatoes staring at me. I needed to add some water because the vessel is not full. If the vessel had been 3/4 full and I was using it for steaming vegetables, then probably it might have worked better. But I used it predominantly for just making a handful of food just for me. This food is just made for me because the others at home will not eat this. So it's specifically made for me. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make a raita. So what I have done, this is my peanut curd. So I've just add a little water to it and made it a little semi-solid. Okay, the color of the peanut curd, if you see, is not so white because the rice that I added to it, when I make peanut curd at home, I normally add rice to it. For a cup of peanuts, I would add about a 1/4 cup of rice. And the rice that I had is the heritage rice, which is unpolished rice. In this case, I just received Ilpai Puchamba the day I was making the rice, the curd, so I added Ilpai Puchamba. And it's slightly reddish color rice. So you see that the color of the curd is also not white, but it tastes brilliant. By far the best curd that I've made at home. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to add a little salt, which has been taste. So I need to add a little salt, and I would add some some lemon juice here. Okay, that is done. What do I need to add? I add a little pepper. So pepper goes in. We grind this at home as in when meat paste. It will have a good pepper mill. It doesn't matter. I use the mixer. So what I do here is I just mix everything I have some grated carrots. I'm going to add grated carrots. You see the skin is intact, just washed and used. This will be my dip. Some more. I don't mind lots of carrot. We discussed the benefits of carrot last time, so I normally add a protein to my food that I'm not running and I'm so lazy. I'm not adding anything. I have no tofu. Otherwise, a tofu would have gone really well with this. I would love adding tofu. This stuff again. Okay, it's done. I add. Okay, when I cook the rice, I don't have broth at home now, vegetable broth. So what I do is I add a little bit of a small piece of cinnamon and a little bit of clove to it. So it adds a little bit of fragrance to the broth. Okay. I don't know if I'm supposed to use the vessel like this or it's just for steaming. But anyway, I'm going to wash it myself, so it's okay. Even if I burnt it a bit. Now what I'm going to do is that dish is ready. You see my buckwheat rice is ready. I don't think I can eat so much. So this will be spread over 2 days. And though I added just about 2 cupped hand sizes of my carb, then what I'm going to do now is I have homegrown ajwain, the karpooravalli. I'm going to add a little to the raita. Try this. My first attempt. I'm sure it'll taste well because I like eating my karpooravalli just like that. I needn't add. I don't even need to cook it or make anything out of it. When I'm walking out in the garden, I normally pluck the leaves and have it as it is. We all know it's good this season. It's got immunity boosting properties. So my dip is ready and my main dish is ready. The buckwheat, tomato, whatever. Give it a name. So try this. If you don't have buckwheat, it's okay. Most of us have millets at home. You could try with varaga or kudravalli. They cook nicely and they kind of separate really well. Easy to cook. So don't use the samay or any other kind, but use the kudravalli or varaga. If you're using quinoa, fine. Amrat angel is a very small grain. I mean, the size is so small. I don't know how well it will cook, but quinoa should do perfectly well with this. And well, this is my tomato rice without rice, a grain-free tomato rice with my side dish of a carrot, ajwain, raita. This is my dinner tonight.